Il Rey the King, the title comes from, like, obviously in the chorus it sort of says King for a day. I thought it was a bit boring, so my dad calls me Il Rey, like I'm in his phone as Il Rey, and there's an Italian opera called Il Rey the King, so I thought that was like a nice way of, I thought it was a more interesting way. But the problem is in Italian I think it's ILRE, which you wouldn't pronounce it as Il Rey. So I thought it'd be funny to spell it as Il Rey, like, you know, Il Rey, that's the king, you know. So this sort of, I imagine this sort of like, you know, man in a leather jacket with slick back hair and a ponytail and slumped at the bar, you know. That's Il Rey the King, you know. So that's where that comes from. You're in Love with the Psycho is it's written really quickly, and it's sort of like an irresistible groove. It's like it's a dance floor filler. 24/7 is it's just a ferocious rock tune. It comes from the bombardment of information, just being feeling like you can't really escape from information. My phone now sends me news alerts. I don't want them. I don't know how to turn them off. I don't want to know certain things. I just don't want to know. So it's the relentlessness of the world, and you just kind of being at the centre of it, and it's like it's just on. It seems that everything's on my case for 24/7. Good Fight is just it's just a simple love song, really. Just, you know, fighting the good fight, I suppose, is I don't know. It's like, you know, if you're into the same music or the same films, just two people into the same stuff. There's a Dylan tune, Everybody Must Get Stoned, I think is the exact title. So and I really always loved the sound of the band, and you can sort of visualise them all in a room, sort of just, and anyone just picking up something, and I've got a song, and then it just starts, and then so it was trying to capture that feeling of just people in a room just making noise on whatever was laying around. Wasted's just it's a summer tune, really, about falling in love in the summer. I mean, it's really, I mean, the whole record really is very, it's really simple sentiments, they're really complicated. And that one, I don't know, I was listening to sort of Fleetwood Mac a lot, which I don't recommend to. But no, I mean, I do, but they're great. But it's just, yeah, I sort of look like that 70s, and there's a bit of Nile Rodgers in there as well, I suppose. So yeah, that's just kind of really cool, sort of nice little 70s pop tune. Comeback Kid is it's all about the lyrics for that one, really. Sasquatch in a bin bag, it's one of my favourites. Kingpin on a cutback, it's another beauty. Good T-shirts, the Good T-shirt song. That. This album, I've had so much more fun with it. Like it's always been there, but it was a lot of it had to make me laugh. I thought that was a lot of it. You know, that one's really empowering because it's sort of, you know, like most of the music, it's about outside, you know, being an outsider. That's like a sort of David Lynch-esque sort of stories of winding Hollywood hills and just being ending up somewhere that, you know, just winding roads to houses that, you know, and then you get lost in them for days, those sort of things. This one was, originally it was 3 minutes 30. It's a really concise pop song, but I thought the groove was so, it was just, I couldn't stop. I would listen to it and imagine a dub plate of it, and then It's like, well, we may as well not wait, we may as well just do it and have it on the album. And then put a saxophone solo in, which I'd never thought I'd ever say that happened, but it sort of makes it really, I don't know, it's great. I think it's the centerpiece really. I think it's probably my favourite on the album. We just looped up the track for like 20 minutes and said, play whatever you want, and we'll figure it out. And then we all got so into it, we forgot he was playing, so he was there for like half an hour, and he's like tapping them, like, is that okay? And we're like, oh yeah, he's playing this, isn't it? Yeah, it's great, yeah. So then we cut it up and figured it out. Long was the road for your heart was ended. All Through the Night is just a really sort of folky tune. It's got a saw in it, which I think's a sound that's a beautiful sound, the sound of a saw. It's a woman called Faye, who's a multi-instrumentalist. She's amazing. I mean, it's just about thinking about the woman you love all through the night, and not being able to sleep because of it. 16 Blocks is that I used to dig. I used to look for samples when I was younger, because you just go on the net now, it's well annoying. It used to be a real art to try and find a loop. So I always like interested in making music that you'd sample, so you'd start with this great little riff. So I always imagined, you know, moving the needle and finding this little gem, and then that, you know, so sonically that's kind of where that's at. It's like a, you know, just like a record you'd sample. One day it comes and then it gets you, crashing waves. It's just a sort of punk pop song, really. Just yeah. And it's funny because I always think of it like back in the day, like bands, you know, they'd sort of in the 70s, people are talking about rock and roll, and it was like 20 years. So like, you know, they were talking about that in the 70s, and they were talking about that growing up, this and that, and it's in a weird sort of way, we're sort of doing the same. It's like music you grew up with, but rather than making an acid house tune, which wouldn't have been very interesting, it's like a proper, you know, T-Rex sort of Ramonesy sort of number. A real uplifting tune. Put Your Life On It was, it's just written about my wife. I mean, it's really simple. I mean, I've never really written anything so honest, so I've always hidden behind something. But this one's just laying it out there, and yeah, it's a nice little number. I just wanted to make a really uplifting record, and a real sort of just like a feel good, like a fun album, you know. It's just everything that I've always ever done is on instinct. Like, I don't know. That was what I wanted to do. So with that intention, I just recorded it, wrote it really quickly, and that's, you know, and it was like, well, that's that period. So this feels like an album. Let's put it out. But yeah, but it wasn't like I have to make this kind of record. It's just what happened.